Hey everybody. So, big problem last week. Big problem. I noticed that when I got up to show actually pointing something, how much weight I have gained. Oh my God. Weight I have gained. Oh my God. It's one of those things. After this stuff, my exercise regime went to crap. Black coffee, no sugar, no creamer, low cal, but it's coffee. So, why would you guys listen to me if I'm a fat old man? Can't do what he says he's going to take care of in the field, or that he can do in the field. So I'm going to lose the weight, and I'll keep you up to date on that activity from this point forward. So today's message: value. Value. What you make a certain amount of money, what are you going to spend that on? What's it a good thing to spend it on? I buy 55 grain ball ammunition for my mass storage. Buy hollow points for my personal carry. But then my mass, I have just ball ammunition for my sidearm. Spent extra money, got a nice ferro rod because it'll last me for years. It's one of those things I depend on. And so spent good money on that. I have a titanium, is a funky color, but this one was reduced in price because it's a funky color. So I saved some money anyway. I'm still a little bit of a cheap shot, cheapy. But titanium match holder. Why? Keeping my matches dry is very important. Also have a plastic one. Well, this is going to break. It's going to fail. It's going to let water in. But I don't have matches in it. I have tinder. I can create dry tinder. So I have a knife. I like this knife. It's not quite as thick as I would like it to be. It doesn't have as much of a tang on it as I'd like it to have, just to keep my hand from sliding up the blade. That's important, real important. But I like the shape of the knife. It's not quite what I'm looking for, so I'm still looking for something different. The Mora is definitely something that I thought about. Got this one given to me, and it is nice and thick. It's a heavy knife, a little thinner this way than I would like, but it's good for digging. I can dig stuff out, cut stuff up. I can drive this through. Being this long, though, it's nice to be able to baton this through some wood. So but it has no tang at all. So may have to rehandle this, and after I put a new handle on it, that may be something. But it's a great blade. That's the thing. Carrying water. I've got a cheap surplus canteen with canteen cup that I can boil water in. But then I spent good money on a battery backup for charging my phone. Why did I spend good money on some things and less money on other things? I'm spending real good money on a good headlamp that works well. Energizer batteries. Spend good money on batteries. I went out and found the old style compass, as you'd seen on previous deals, and metal, heavy, lasts forever. And that's the thing, lasts forever. I'm also old and cantankerous, and I like my little luxuries. I like to have a fork or a spoon to be able to eat my dinner with. Is it a necessity? No. But if I'm going to carry it every day, or carry it in my essentials pack, when you've seen the video on the essentials pack, I may put a connection in the comments for that. But I don't want it to weigh a whole lot, so I went with titanium. Spend money on those things that are going to go in your essentials pack. Your ferro rods, your little luxuries like that I hate to admit. Your keeping your tinder dry, your matches dry, a good knife, those things that are essential. Your cooking kit. Sure, you can go out and spend extra money and get a titanium cooking kit and have that super lightweight. You can spend a little extra money, a little less money, and get an aluminum one and use that extra money for more food, more storage. It kind of depends on what you're looking for. Let me take a show. This jacket is 25 plus years old. It's a little ragged. It's been caught on barbed wire multiple times. You can't even, I mean, unless you really, there's one spot. Unless you really look, you're not going to find a rip. There's not a rip in it, but unless you really look, you won't see where I've ever got caught on barbed wire. Other than being worn a little thick, having a few little stains here and there. This jacket is as good as the day I bought it. 25 years old. Now you may say I look like Paul Harrell wearing this kind of a jacket, but you know what? Number one, Paul has a great station. I've got almost nobody watching me. And two, he's funny, I'm not. So anyway, 25 years old. Two years old. And this jacket looks good. I look good in this jacket. This is a good looking jacket. It's got an extra zipper back here in the back. And you would think that it's got a hood inside, but it doesn't. It has nothing. It is just for show. It is a worthless zipper on the back of your collar. And when my hair, yeah, I did have hair at one time. When my hair was a little longer, it'd get caught in the zipper back here and pull one out every once in a while. You know, hurt the back of my head. It's a pretty jacket. I'm pretty in this. It's 2 years old and one of the snaps is already broken. It's worn through in a couple little spots. I bought it for the looks. Did I waste my money? No, I like to look good just like everybody else going out. Now, which one is my shift jacket? Am I going to put this on and go out? No, I'm going to take the other jacket. And because, why? It may be 25 years old, but it's as good as the day it was bought. It'll be good in another 20 years for me, okay? The other items that I've spent money on, good money on, a little extra money on, like this, or Energizer batteries. When they're sitting there, they're going to retain that energy longer, therefore giving me more value. So though I spent more money, I have more value than a cheaper battery that would have lost all of its charge. I have a cheap Tasco lens. Why? Because I can spot stuff with it. It's good enough. It's not the best. No, I could spend a lot more money on it. And I plan on upgrading that because that is one of the items in my essentials case. So, but I got what would work, what would last a while. Now I'll upgrade it and I'll have a secondary. It won't be in my essentials pack because I'm only going to have one in my essentials pack because minimum weight is what we're going for there. It was, there's all kinds of things that you can spend good money on. I could buy all hollow point 9mm critical duty ammunition, and that's all I buy. And with that, it fires because I've practiced with both ball and the critical duty, it shoots a little bit up and to the right out of my handgun, out of my personal carry. Well, that's okay. I know to aim down and a little bit to the left. But at the distances that we're talking about for that gun, you really don't have to change your aim up at all. Because you're only talking about maybe a half-inch difference in the two bullets at the distances that we're talking about. So I can spend more money on some things, but does it gain me anything? Having 9mm ammunition, having a couple thousand rounds of it sitting out there, just sitting, will last me the rest of my lifetime, hopefully. Having standard military grade 5.56 ammunition should last me the rest of my lifetime. Could it all be high grade, target accurate rounds? Yeah, it could be, but I wouldn't have any of the other stuff I've got. Could I have bought a Daniel Defense AR? Sure could have. Set up just to fire that precious ammunition, so that best recoil, just zero it right in and have it just fire that stuff. But ammo that I pick up off the ground, the current gun I've got, I can put in the magazine, and I've not had any problem with multiple different styles of rounds, types of rounds. Well, all 223 or 5.56 anyway, but you get my point. Different grain bullets, different grain powders, things of that nature. Value. You can buy high dollar food for storage. Let's just get all MREs. Let's just buy all MREs. High value item, high cost, so you're going to have less overall. I have very few MREs, but with the rest of the money I saved, I've got 9 months worth of food stored back. And with food, I also have the idea that I would have to grow something, so I have seeds stored back. I've got two different hordes, if you would, of seeds for what I expect to be able to grow in this climate. You'll notice I don't do a whole lot of product reviews. When I go camping, I don't take an axe, don't take a hatchet. I take a machete. Why? Because in this climate, a machete cuts all the little wood that I need to be able to cook what I need. I don't need a raging fire. I don't live in Canada, where I would want a saw and maybe as well an axe, both. But I can lightweight camp in the climes that I'm in because I don't need all that extra. In Canada, you're going to need to cut some wood. And I just watched a deal on the silky saws. I mean, they're fantastic saws. I have no personal use for one. It's not going to benefit me to carry that extra weight to slow me down that much more and remove that portion of the pleasure of out hiking in the woods. And like an axe, yes, an axe could be handy, but the machete that I carry with me, and I replaced the other machete that I had because the handle broke. I don't know why the handle broke. Must have been a factory defect, but it happens. So I've got a backup for it. Now my current machete doesn't look like it's ever been used, but as soon as this goes away, or I find a piece of property, which there may be more to that coming up, you don't have to spend a ton of money on a hot tent with a stove and a silky saw and all that for the climate that I'm living in. In your climate, you may need to. You may need to have one of those roll behind pack carriers. That way you can haul all the equipment that you need to out into the woods. Me, I just need a little rucksack. I don't need a whole lot other than my essentials bag, of course. Essentials, you know the drill. So in each person's location, they have to look at what is best for them. If you're up in the northern climes, yeah, silky saw looks like a thing. Maybe even an axe. A little bit further south of that, hatchet. You know, you may want to do a machete, do a hatchet, one of the two. They're choppers. It's what you're comfortable chopping with. So I'm not going to sit here and try and tell you what you should buy for these things, but if you do go buy a machete, buy a good machete, because it's likely to last you the rest of your life. I can rehandle the other one, and it'd probably last me the rest of my life, but at the prices that you can get a machete at, it's easier just to replace it since we have it available to us. And now I have a secondary one sitting back that I can rehandle and have a second one. So I guess what I'm getting at is watch what you spend your money on. Spend the good money on the stuff that you need. You can hand down to your children, and they may hand down to their children. You can get a titanium pot, but a cast iron one will weigh a lot more, but it will last you the rest of your life. The titanium or the aluminum one simply will not. One time you're going to set that thing directly in the fire and it's going to melt a hole right in the bottom of that aluminum pan. The cast iron one, you're going to throw stuff in it to burn out all the dirt, all the residue food in there. You know, it's value versus utility and price. You need all these things that we talked about. Some of them need to be really high quality because they're going to be with you forever and you depend on them. Others, you know, okay, so I lost it. No big deal. You can get that super tent and have that super tent, or you can get an oil canvas like I've got that'll last me the rest of my life. But the first time that I touch the inside of it, water doesn't drip through. If you guys have got the tents, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to have a down jacket that the first time I get a rip, now I've got a cold spot right here because all the down's everywhere and I've got duct tape over the top of it. This jacket here, unless somebody shoots me, I'm not going to have a hole in it. Heavy duty canvas. Yes, it's heavier. My blanket is a wool blanket. Yes, it's heavier. But even when it's wet, it retains its thermal values. A lot more value, give up some luxury. So that's it for today, guys. That's what I'm putting out. Like, comment, subscribe, smack that notification bell. I appreciate y'all. And this will be out on Facebook, Twitter. No, maybe not Twitter. I don't know. I don't know if I have a Twitter account. I'm going to have to look at that. parlor, other things. So, guys, I appreciate y'all, and thank you much.